Have you ever gotten that feeling at the grocery store that you're kind of being played? You know, that your favorite snacks seem to be shrinking, but the price, well, that's not changing? You are definitely not imagining it. There's a name for this sneaky tactic. It's called shrinkflation. And today, we're going to blow this whole case wide open.
Just picture this. You're in the snack aisle. You're reaching for that bag of chips you always get. But, as you grab it, something just feels off. It feels lighter, maybe a little emptier, almost like a shadow of its former self. But the price? Oh, it's the same as always. That nagging feeling, though, that you're being ripped off, yeah, that's real.
So yeah, trust your gut on this one. You're not going crazy. This is a really deliberate, calculated move by some of these big brands. And like I said, it has a name, shrinkflation. It's basically a price hike in disguise, and it is happening right under our noses.
So, let's pull back the curtain on this little magic trick, because honestly, once you see how it's done, you are going to start seeing it everywhere. So what is this shrinking feeling all about really?
It's really a masterclass in misdirection. You know that family-size bag of chips? Well, suddenly it's a sharing size, and whoops, there's a handful less inside. That carton of ice cream? It might have a new, deeper dimple at the bottom. The price tag? It stays the same, but you are paying more for less. It is a hidden price hike. It's really that simple.
But look, this isn't just a hunch, right? It's not just a few angry posts online. We've actually got the receipts. We're about to dive into a massive academic study that really exposes the true scale of what's going on here.
So our evidence today, it comes from some really smart people, Aljosha Jansen and Johannes Kassinger, and their work was published in the journal Marketing Science. They set out to answer a pretty simple question. Just how deep does this rabbit hole go? And well, to find out, they had to go big.
And believe me, they went big. I mean, think about this, a full decade of data. They tracked 4 million different products across 50,000 stores. This is a digital mountain of evidence, one of the biggest deep dives into the American grocery basket ever done.
So, what did this mountain of data actually tell them? Well, get ready, because this first finding, it's a real bombshell.
Okay, so this is pretty much the smoking gun. The data shows that for every single product that gets bigger, 5 get smaller. Let that sink in. 5 to 1. It is a one-way street, and we are all paying the toll. And, this chart just lays it all out in black and white. See that tall bar? That's the share of sales from all the products that are shrinking. And that tiny little one next to it? That's the stuff that's actually getting bigger. It's not even a contest. The trend is overwhelmingly pointed in one direction. And listen, don't think you're safe in the dairy aisle or somewhere else. This is happening pretty much everywhere. You know that double roll of toilet paper you bought? Well, take a closer look. The cardboard tube inside might just be a little bit bigger than it used to be. That family-size box of cereal? Sometimes it feels like it's mostly air. All right, so let's follow the money here. We know the products are shrinking, but how exactly does that end up costing you more at the checkout?
And here's the kind of sneaky genius part of it all. The price you see on the shelf, it doesn't move. It's the same friendly number you're used to seeing. They're basically just banking on the fact that you won't notice that little disappearing act happening inside the package. But here is the real kicker. When you actually do the math, when you look at the price per ounce or whatever, that same price is actually an average price hike of 12%. 12%! That's huge! They're not just taking a few chips out, they're effectively picking your pocket one cookie at a time.
Okay, so you got to be asking, why go through this whole charade, right? Why not just raise the price? Well, the answer, it turns out, is all in our heads. It's all about how we're wired to shop. So what's the big secret here? What do these companies know about us as shoppers that maybe we don't even realize about ourselves? Let's find out. And here it is. This is the big reveal. It turns out we really, really hate price hikes. Just look at this data. A tiny 1% price increase, sales drop by more than 1%. We notice it and we switch brands. But when they make the box just a little bit smaller, sales barely even dip. We are more than twice as sensitive to a change in price as we are to a change in size. It's incredible. We are suckers for a familiar price tag, and boy, do they know it. The researchers put it perfectly themselves. We are just way more sensitive to the price of a product than we are to its size. And that right there is the golden ticket for these companies. Basically, our lack of attention is their profit. Okay, so the jig is up. We've exposed the trick. But now what?
What does all this mean for our wallets, for our trust in these brands, and for the future of the grocery store?
Well, it's kind of a classic tale of winners and losers, isn't it? For the companies, hey, it's working. They're increasing revenue. For us, the consumers, it just means we're paying these hidden costs. But the story doesn't stop there. Policymakers are finally starting to pay attention.
But it looks like the tide might be turning. Over in France, they passed a law in 2024 that actually forces retailers to put a warning label on products that have shrunk. And here in the States, there's actually a Shrinkflation Prevention Act being proposed in the Senate. Even President Biden mentioned it in his State of the Union address. So yeah, the secret is definitely out.
So, in the meantime, how do you fight back? Well, it's actually pretty simple. You have to become a unit price ninja. That tiny little number on the shelf tag, the price per ounce, the price per 100 sheets, that is your secret weapon. That little number tells you the real story. It cuts right through all the marketing nonsense and shows you what you're actually paying.
So really, the power is back in your hands now. You know the trick. You know how the game is played. So the next time you're walking down that grocery aisle, you're not just a shopper anymore. You're a detective. My question for you is, what are you going to be looking for?